Welcome back to Going Solo. This is session 2 of our Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion playthrough. And as mentioned before, this game kind of slowly walks you into the rules. So let's talk about what's new for session 2. So first, we have coins. So there are coins on the board, and also anytime an enemy is killed, it drops a coin. These can be picked up by characters either by ending your turn on a space that has a coin, or by using the new loot action that some of the cards have. We also have character sheets. So you can now name your character and mark off the level 1 box because it is a level 1 character. Next, we have traps. There are 4 traps on the board. If you go into the space of a trap, you take 3 damage. That goes for the enemies as well, but it is clear in the rules that you can't just use an enemy's movement to move it into a trap unless it has no other option. But that brings us to another thing, is some of our cards have a push or pull action that we can use. So we might be able to use that to get some of these enemies into the traps. We also have a treasure tile that is looted just like the money. You can either end your turn on that tile, or you can use a loot action while next to it. And we have a new outline. This blue outline here means that it's a door. That door is closed, which is why I have not populated the rest of the board. As soon as a character steps on that blue tile, then the door is open and they can see what's on the other side. The enemies now have their own ability decks. So we draw the top card at the first of each turn, and it has a number on there which will tell us its order in initiative. So they no longer go on initiative 50 all the time. What else? We also have access to the basic actions. So in each of the cards, the top and bottom each have a basic action. It's an attack and a move. The top is an attack, the bottom is a move. So we can use that in place of the actions described on the card if we need to, or if we wish. That means we can always have a move, basically. Let's go ahead and set up our tokens. The last thing is that we can negate damage by losing cards. Now, losing cards means that it is out of the game for that session. We can do that either, we can negate all damage from an attack either by losing 1 card from our hand or 2 cards from our discard pile. And I believe that is everything.
The tracks are easy to spot. Vermlings have never been known for their subtlety. You follow the scratching and indicators of a body being dragged until you find yourself approaching the walls of Gloomhaven. The sun is very low, but something isn't right. That isn't just a shadow cast across the lower section of the wall, it's a hole. The vermlings have made a nest for themselves by burrowing into the wall itself. How industrious. You crouch low and try to sneak closer, but they must have guards watching the entrance. There's a shrill shrieking, and then a number of vermlings jump from the dark, brandishing their dull, poorly made weapons. No choice now but to defend yourself. Luckily, you've managed to get your second wind, but you will definitely need a nice long bath after this ordeal.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. I've got everything that we need set up, so let's see here. As I said last session, we do have some new upgraded cards. Some of them have this little card with an X symbol on it. That means if I play this card and I use that action, this card is lost for the remainder of that session. So they are usually like a better, bigger action. But anyway, let's start with our Void Warden here. We're going to have her do some movement, I think. And she is in the back, so I want her to go kind of a little bit later. So we are going to do this, I think. We just need to make sure either the hatchet or the demolitionist moves first. Alright, so the demolitionist, let's see here what he's got. Huh. If he could get up there. Yes, that would be perfect. Okay, so let's do that. And then this for him. I think will be good. And our hatchet. Let's give him some movement. And some attack. He's got ranged attacks, so let's give him this one, I think. And then our red guard. So there's some movement, and yes, this attack. So I'm going to try to utilize these traps so that we can see them in action. Now they are damage traps, and currently they do 3 points of damage. Let me make sure that that's right. I believe it's 3 points. I just want to make sure real quick though. Yes. Each of the traps do 3 points of damage. Now that damage does go up as we level up, but for now, 3 points of damage. So, let's see what we've got here. So first, let's look at our vermlings. Their card is a 36, and it's Careful Throw. So it is a ranged attack. Okay. Void Warden's at 68. Demolitionist at 19. Hatchet at 24. Red Guard at 14. So our Red Guard goes first. Then our Demolitionist. Our Hatchet. Vermlings. And then the Void Warden. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, so let's start with our Red Guard then. So he's got movement or loot, and then attack with a range of 2. His movement is 3. And this attack has a pull. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Ah, not quite close enough. 1, 2, 3. That's as far as he can get though. Okay, that's going to have to do. And then he's going to attack with a range of 2. This guy. So he is going to do 3 damage. Plus 1. So 4 damage to that guy there. Who is number 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. And pulls him 1 space closer. Alright. Our Demolitionist is next. Our Demolitionist has movement of 4 spaces. Or 3 spaces and a push. And it's going to have to be the 3 spaces and a push because I'm not ready to give up this card yet. So he's going to move 3 spaces and push. Actually, he's going to move 1, 2 spaces and push this guy onto that trap, which deals him 3 damage, which takes him out of the game. And he drops a coin. Okay. Oh, and the red guard would have retrieved this coin at the end of his turn. All right. So that was 3 and a push, and then he's got an attack with a range of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't get that one, so he's going to go after this guy right here, which is number 3. No, number 2. 3 was the one we just killed. All right, so that's an attack of 2. -1. He was not strengthened. That was from last time. Attack of 2 -1 is 1 damage. And that's all for him. So next we have our hatchet, who's got movement of 2 and a push. Let's see. He's going to go, 1, 2, and push. And then he's got a attack with a range of 3 against 3 targets. These 3 targets, so this first one he's going to have disadvantage on because it's a ranged attack and he's too close. So, +0 or +1, that's going to be a +0. So that guy, number 5, is going to take 1 point of damage. And be muddled. I'm going to try to remember these better this time. Okay. Next one, number 1, is a +1, so that's 2 damage. And then this guy is a -1, so no damage, but he still gets the muddle because it wasn't a miss. Alright. So now it's the Vermling's turn. They get movement +0, so they get their standard movement, which is 1 space. And then they get attack -1 with a range of 2, so they want to be ranged. So their movement is 1 space. And then their range is 2. So let's see what they're going to do here. This one would not be able to get out of range of either of these two, so since it's a ranged attack, he's going to go after the red guard. And he is muddled, so it is at disadvantage. So that's going to be a -1. His normal attack is 2. His attack is already at -1, so the red guard takes no damage. And muddle is gone from him. This one is going to move here and then attack the demolitionist. He's at disadvantage because he's muddled. So either a -1 or a +0. So the demolitionist also takes no damage. Let's move this closer. Alright, and finally, this guy is going to take a step forward and attack the hatchet. -2. So the hatchet takes no damage. Alright, and then we have the Void Warden. Okay, so the Void Warden is going to move, and then she can allow an ally within range to attack for 4, which is a big attack. So let's go ahead and move her 1, 2. So that's her movement. Oh, the hatchet would have collected his gold. So she moves, and then she is going to allow, I think, the red guard to attack this guy. Wait. Nope, red guard's too far away. So she's going to allow the hatchet to attack this guy. So that's an attack of 4, plus the hatchet's modifier, which is a -2. So the guy only takes 2 damage, and he's number 1. Alright. And now, it's time to choose new cards. Let's go for... this one, and I want to get some movement in here so that I can get close enough. Let's go with this one. Oh wait, I didn't do the other guy here. He just had a movement of 1, and then he was too far away to attack anyway. So, that's fine. Okay. Let's see. Let's try to get you in quickly. And do some damage. If you can. If you can get to anybody to do damage to. Let's get you in quickly and do some damage. And you are not going to get in very quickly, but that's okay. So we still want you to do some damage. Okay. Alright, so let's see what we got here for the Raiders. They have an 85. And that symbol means after this, their action cards get shuffled, because they've only got 4. So these are the basic Raider action cards. Alright, so let's see. We've got our Hatchet going first, followed by our Demolitionist, then our Void Warden, then our Red Guard, and Vermling Raiders bringing up the rear. Alright, so Hatchet goes first. He gets a move and a ranged attack. Oh, but he's not really got anywhere he can move at the moment. Oh, when did these get messed up? Hold on, let me fix their health here that I have apparently messed up or did not set at the beginning. None of them really took any damage. There we go. Okay. So yeah, he's going to attack. He's got a range of 3, so he's going to attack this guy over here. +0. It is an attack of 3 though. So that guy's down to 1 hit point. And there's really nowhere he can move. Alright, Demolitionist is going to move 2 or move 2. Well, let's attack first. How about that? Let's attack this guy first. So that's 3 +1, so 4. So that means this guy is gone and leaves behind a coin for some lucky person. Okay, so that was his attack. And then he gets to move 2, so he'll go 1 and 2. Now it's our Void Warden's turn. She's got movement. Okay. I like this. But she's kind of stuck. She's not really gonna have a place where she can use this. Because she needs to be within 3. Well, she could actually. So she's going to disarm number 2, which disarm is our new status condition, which means they cannot attack on their next turn. So she's going to disarm number 2 and then force them to move 2 spaces with her controlling the action. Just have him move a little bit away. And then she gets to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And muddle an opponent within a range of 3. Which is now this elite guy up here. Okay. So that's what she does. Then it is the Red Guard's turn. He's got some movement and he's got some attack. Yeah. So he's got 4 movement. He's just going to move 2. And then his attack targets all adjacent enemies with a separate modifier for each. So, we're going to start with the elite. That's a +1. It's an attack of 2, so that's 3 for the elite. 1, 2, 3. Come on. There we go. And then he's going to attack the basic, which is number 2. Separate modifier. Another +1, so that's 3 for that guy. And he is eliminated. Dropping a coin. Oh, this guy should have picked up this coin. There we go. Okay. Now it is the Vermling Raiders' turn. So they get to push any adjacent enemies. So this guy will push. And then they get to attack with a range of 2, but he's muddled. So he is at disadvantage. So it's going to be a +0. Their attack was at +1. Base attack is 2, so that's 3 points of damage to the Red Guard. Putting him at 7. Okay. And the medal goes away. Perfect. And we shuffle the action cards for the vermlings. Helps if I shuffle them all the same side down. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, everybody's only got 2 cards left, so it's just about what order they go in. And the vermlings got a 36. So it looks like the vermlings are going to go second, because our hatchet's the only one that got lower than a 36. Then we got Red Guard, Demolitionist, Void Warden. Alright, hatchet goes first. So, he is right at one of these guys. So, he is going to... Oh, he's going to have to move first. Dang it. I was hoping for something a little better than that. Alright. 4. Go lay down, baby. Go lay down. Okay, so he's going to... why not? He's going to add 1 to his attack, and then he's going to do close cuts to attack this guy. So it's an attack of 3, which makes it 4. If there was another guy there, I could attack him too. But there's not. So it's 4 plus 2, which makes it 6. Poor guy only had 1 hit point left. So he's gone. And that's all for the hatchet. Alright, the vermlings. They get movement plus 0. Their movement is 1. So they get 1 space of movement. Elite goes first. He moves. And then... Oh, it's a ranged attack, so he doesn't move, because he's going to attack the Demolitionist. Or the Red Guard. Sorry. So he's going to... His attack is at -1. Base attack is 2, so that brings it down to 1. Plus 0. So the Red Guard takes 1 more point of damage. And it is now the Red Guard's turn. Alright. So he's got a melee attack of 2, which he can't do. I could move, but then I would lose this card, and I don't think I need to do that quite yet. But I can disarm an enemy within 2 rounds, which means they won't be able to attack their next turn. So let's do that. And then he's going to heal himself for 2 damage. Alright. Then we have the Demolitionist. Let's see. Nothing he's got is ranged. He doesn't have any movement. Yep, he's got nothing to do, because neither of his cards allow him to move. But we've got basic actions. Forgot about that for a moment. So let's do that. Let's do a basic move of 2. And then I can do an attack of 3. Plus 0. But still. 1, 2, 3. Forgot about that with the Red Guard. I could have done that as well with the Red Guard, but I didn't. So, You live, you learn. And finally, we have our Void Warden. Alright, so I can attack with a range of 3 and heal. The only person who's taken damage is the red guard. I'd need to heal him. Or I can have an ally attack, but then the other one is forcing an enemy to attack, and there's nobody for the enemy to attack. So, I think it's a pretty simple thing. I'm going to attack this guy for 3. -1, so that's 2. And then I'm going to heal the red guard for 2 points, bringing him back up to his full health. And we take our first short rest. Okay, now we can choose our next round's cards. So let's see. Our Void Warden, I'm probably going to have her open the door, but I don't want to have her do that immediately. So we will probably also grant her an attack and put her at 68. The Demo Man, Demolitionist. He could certainly attack. Yes. And move. Red Guard. Let's see what he's got here. I think I can have him move and then hopefully do some attacking. Maybe. Ooh. Let's do... And an attack with pull. It's going to have him going later, but that's fine. And then our hatchet can move maybe use this move so that I can get the rest of that treasure. And then there's another, let's just throw out this one so that he can get some treasure. I want to try to pick up these coins. Okay. Our vermlings get a 50. Alright, let's see where that puts us. That puts our demolitionist. Hatchet before the demolitionist. Vermlings. Red Guard. Void Warden. Okay, so not great, but we can go ahead and just do this. So he gets a movement of 4. I'm just going to take 2 of it, because then he can loot. So he's going to loot these 2 coins. And then he can heal himself, but he's not damaged at all. And then this card is lost because I used the bottom action of it. Okay. Next is our Demolitionist. So he's going to attack for 3. Plus 0. 3 points of damage, which is enough to destroy this guy. He drops a coin. And then Demolitionist, after that attack, is going to move. Just 1. Ends his turn there so he can pick up the coin. Now, I got to be careful with trying to pick up all these coins, because if I run out of cards and I can't play, that means that character cannot do anything for the rest of this round. They are unconscious, effectively. Alright. Vermling's turn, and there are none of them on the board. So, we are about to change that, though. So, when they are revealed, they get to go immediately, basically. So we go back to the red guard, who is going to do movement 1, and the door opens. So we have a basic here, and an elite here. Now the red guard still has 3 spaces of movement, but since the vermlings went first, they get a chance to act now. So they get their basic movement, which is 1, 1, 1, 1. This one gets to attack. Basic attack, so it's 2 points, plus 0. So the red guard takes 2 points of damage. Now we're back to the red guard's turn. He still has 4 movement points left. He is not going to use them, though. Because he is going to shoot at this guy for 3. Minus 1, so that's 2. 2 points to number 1 here. Let's go ahead and put in their damage markers here while I'm at it. We picked number 5, so he's got 5 hit points. And number 6 has 10 hit points. Okay. Now, with this, he also gets to pull. So he's going to pull the guy 1 space this way, which means he takes an additional 3 points, which is enough to take him out. And of course, he drops a coin. Alright. That's the red guard's turn. Now it's the Void Warden's turn. Alright, so she's got... she is going to use this card. Yeah, she's going to use this card to allow the red guard to attack this guy for 4. Minus 2, so only 2. Wait, no, right there. Yeah. And then she can't move because the red guard is blocking her way. Alright, next round. Let's see here. Gonna do this one and this one. But we need the red guard to move first, so we were going to put her kind of back. We need the red guard to go as quick as possible. So let's go ahead and pick the red guard's cards. 38's his lowest number. It's got some attacks. And then we will use the basic action probably of this one to allow him to move some. Okay. Oh, we need some either range stuff or to get him higher than the red guard, because the red guard's got to move out of the way. So let's go ahead and go for this. And then the hatchet should have some range stuff he can do. So he is going to do these two, sure. Okay. Let's see what the vermlings get. 85. And we've got an 89, a 66, a 38, and a 51. So our red guard goes first. That's what we wanted. We wanted to make sure that he could move out of the way. Then we've got our hatchet, then our demolitionist, then our vermlings, then our void warden. Alright, so red guard goes first. Alright, so I don't want to use this move of 6 because then I'd lose this card. And that's one card closer to be losing the red guard for this, the rest of this. So, I am going to do an attack on this guy for 2 points. -1, so that's only 1 point. And then I'm going to use the basic movement of this for 2 movement. But I'm just going to move 1 so that I can pick up this coin. Okay. Next, we have the hatchet, who should be able to at least get closer. So he's going to go 1, 2, and that's his movement. And then he's got this, where he can attack this guy for 2 points. -1. So that brings him down 1. And yes, that's all for him. Then we have the demolitionist. So let's see, he's got 3 movement. Okay. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. He is going to step in the doorway. So it's going to keep the Void Warden from being able to move in, which kind of sucks, but it's what I got to do. And then I get to, I could push him, but I don't want to because I want to keep him close. I'll push him at the end of this one because it allows me to do that as well. So I'm going to attack him for 2. +1, that's 3. That's enough to get rid of him. So I don't even need to do the push. But that brings us to my Void Warden. Wait, nope. That brings us to the Vermlings. Alright, it's an 85, so they get to push any adjacent targets and then attack with a range of 2. There is nobody within range for him to attack, and he does not get to move this round. but I do shuffle their cards up. I've got one enemy left on the board. Now it's the Void Warden's turn. Now she's got movement of 3. But she can't. So instead, she's going to heal the only person who has taken damage, which is the Red Guard. Heals him for 2, which puts him back up to full health. And then she could force an enemy within range to attack, but there's not any. And now, each character only has 1 card left. So we take our discards and we do another short rest. I have got to take some points off this guy this round. Otherwise, and then we just add those cards back to our deck that have 1 hand in it. And let's see what we end up with. Lost cards. And Hatchet is even down an extra card. So, alright. So our Void Warden. Let's do a card where we can allow an ally to attack. And movement, hopefully this time. And we are going to have her go pretty late to hopefully clear out this doorway. Our Demolitionist definitely needs to move. So let's do this, and then I don't have any ranged attacks, but I couldn't get to him anyway. So we'll do this one. Sure. I kind of want the Hatchet to also go after the Demolitionist so that the Hatchet can get through. Which shouldn't be a problem because his cards are like that. So we're going to use this movement of 3, so hopefully get him inside. Hopefully. And then we'll do this range of 3 attack. And then our Red Guard. Let's get him moving. And I can actually get up to him. So I will go ahead and do this as well. Alright. And our Vermlings get 85 again. It's only 4 cards, so I guess it's pretty standard likeliness. Okay, so Demolitionist first, followed by the Red Guard, then the Hatchet, Vermling, and then the Void Warden. Alright, Demolitionist first. We wanted that. So, he needs to move 2 spaces. Yeah, so he's going to move 2 spaces. He's going to destroy this block, which I actually have my destroy tokens now. And since he did that, he gets to strengthen for his next round. His other actions are attacks, but there's nobody for him to attack at the moment, so that's all he can do. Redguard is going to do a movement of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then an attack of 2. Times 2, so that's 4. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 damage. Which is great. And his modifiers get shuffled. Okay. Hatchet next. Hatchet has... There's nobody for him to immobilize, but he gets movement of 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's within range. And then he's going to attack for 2. And it's a miss. So his modifiers also get shuffled. But unfortunately, he did 0 damage. Alright. Now it's the Vermling's turn. He will push the Redguard. And then he does an attack of 1 plus 0. And finally, we have the Void Warden, who's going to do a movement of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she can allow one ally with a range of 3 to an attack with a range of 3. So, of course, she's going to target the Redguard to attack. Redguard is going to attack with a plus 0, so that is 2 damage. Not quite dead, but we're getting there. And now, let's see, the Void Warden only has 2 cards left. So, yeah. This will work. Sure. Demolitionist only has 2 cards left. It's got a movement, though. So we're good. Redguard only has 2 cards left. No movement, but he does have loot, which could be good. Hatchet, though, only has 1 card left. So I have to do another short rest with him. And then he's only got 2 cards left. Which means this will be the Hatchet's last round. Because with the next round, he'd have to do another short rest, and he would not have 2 cards to play. So, yes. Alright. Then, since we got the 85, we shuffle the Vermling Raiders cards. Maybe we'll get the 85 again, who knows? There's a 1 in 4 chance that we will. And we did! Oh. Okay, well that's good, because that means they go later. But, let's see what order we're going in. So we got a 67, a 42, a 41, and a 35. So our Hatchet goes first. Our Redguard goes next. Then our Demolitionist. Then our Void Warden. And then the Vermling Raiders are last. Alright, so our Hatchet. He gets 2 spaces of movement. And then all adjacent enemies suffer 1 damage. Or he can move 3. but then he would only attack for 1. So he gets 2 spaces of movement. He's only going to take 1 of them because his attack is ranged, and I don't want him at disadvantage. So his attack of 3 is a miss. I should have just taken the 1 damage, apparently. Okay. So yes, his attack missed. And that was his last round. Alright, so next we have the Red Guard. The Red Guard has a loot, and then adjacent enemies suffer 2 damage. So he is going to take the loot. There's nobody adjacent to him, so nobody suffers the damage. Hopefully, we can finish killing this guy with this round. Alright, so now, the Demolitionist. And I just blocked my Demolitionist. Of course I did. Okay. Alright, so he's just going to take 1 movement. And there's nothing for him to attack, but he does get to destroy another piece of this wall. Actually, no. He's not going to do that. Oh wait, it's within range, so yes, he can. But his movement is going to be there. So that he can pick up that coin. The only one that has no coins is the Void Warden, but that's okay. Alright, so that is the Demolitionist's turn. Now we have the Void Warden's turn. She also has a loot, but there's nothing to loot. You know what? Let's just try to take this guy out. I'm going to take a chance. So. Nobody's close enough to do this one. Oh, nobody's close enough to do this one either. So no, there's no chance. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the basic action here to move her. Then she gets to disarm within a range of 3. So this guy is going to be disarmed. And then force the target to perform move of 2 with you controlling the action. 1, 2. 3 points of damage. Which leaves him with 1 hit point. There. Demolitionist did something. And he's disarmed so he can't attack. Now it's their turn. He gets to push all adjacent enemies 1. So push her there. But he does not get to attack because he has been disarmed. Alright. So, another short rest for our Void Warden. Yeah. Another short rest for our Void Warden. Another short rest for our Demolitionist. A short rest for our Hatchet means that he is out of the game. And a short rest for our Red Guard. Hatchet lost too many cards too quickly. All right. So, our Void Warden. Let's go ahead and say an ally within range can attack. And we'll do this one as well. Demolitionist needs very little movement to get to the guy and then to attack. And our Red Guard needs very little movement to get to the guy and to attack. Once again, we shuffle the Vermling Raider card deck. Gotta shuffle it up real good. And then they get an 85 again. That is, doesn't seem likely, but I guess it is. So let's see what we got here. We've got the Demolitionist going first. The Hatchet not going at all. Then the Red Guard, Void Warden, and Vermlings. Alright. Let's see if we can end this. So he's got a movement of 2 and an attack of 3. Move here. Attack. +0. But it's an attack of 3, so that's enough. He drops a coin. Now, since there are still turns to play, we play through the rest of this round to allow any characters to pick up any additional treasure that they can. So, next would be the Red Guard. He's got movement of 4. He couldn't get up to that one up there, unfortunately, or I'd get both of them. But you know what? 4. He can't get up there. He's got enough gold, though. He's just going to pass. Well, he'll 1, 2, 3. Just move up there to allow our Void Warden to collect her one and only piece of coin. So, she doesn't have movement, so I'm going to use a basic movement. And she will collect this coin. And that is the end of Scenario 2. So listen for the conclusion, and then we will come back to see what rewards we get.
With the foul nest cleared of those wretched creatures, you take your time searching every nook. Surely the city guard will want to know about this. It can't be safe to have vermlings tunneling through the walls. It's hard enough to fend off their raids as it is. Eventually, you do manage to find an unexpectedly large amount of gold under some rotten wood boards. Sifting through the treasure, you also find a strange note. In crude scratching, it details some business arrangement between the vermlings and someone named Roland. Apparently, in exchange for supplying fresh corpses, Roland would pay the vermlings in gold, and judging by the amount here, the vermlings managed to kill quite a few people before you put an end to it. It's the best lead you have, so it's time to ferret out this Roland character. After resting at the Sleeping Lion, of course.
Alright, so our rewards are laid out right down here. 25 gold each. And that's going to be plus what we picked up, and each one of those is worth 2. So, let's go through each person and do that first. So, our Void Warden picked up 1. So, 25, she got 27. Our Demolitionist picked up 3. So that's an additional 6 gold, so he will be at 31. Our Hatchet. So, the Hatchet collected 3 coins, so that's going to be 31. And then the red guard also collected 3 coins. So the red guard will also be at 31. One thing I forgot to do was that the red guard did pick up this treasure chest. On the map it tells us this treasure chest is number 14. And we look in our rules glossary book. On the last page, it tells us the treasure 14 is gain 3 money tokens. So that would give the red guard an extra 6 gold. So, next reward, the item shop opens with items 1 through 13. So what that means is we've got item cards 1 through 13 right here under available items that we can purchase between missions. And we get a new location. Pushed it a little bit too far away. We get a new location, the Black Ship. So location number 3. And it says that is at D5. That is Scenario 2, A Hole in the Wall. And we will continue with Scenario 3 next time. Thank you for watching.